Hello and welcome along to the first of a long series of FIFA Fridays from FIFA 19. The full game's just come out, it's been delivered today and we're going to start the Ultimate Team. We're going to rotate each Friday between Ultimate Team and Career Mode after our initial ones this week. And we'll see what we can do in both saves. We've already said that we're going to be starting the career mode with Crew Alexandra, trying to get ourselves up to the Premier League. But here the main aim is to try and build a side that can compete in the FIFA Ultimate Team online seasons. We want to make it as good as possible. We're going to build it around a British side because that's what we know. Maybe we could get a Crew player or maybe even a Luton Town player, my beloved Luton Town. As you will know if you follow my Football Manager series. Danny Ings is the first player out, that's a good start for us. So we'll have a look at him and hopefully we've got a couple of other good players in there as well. So let's see what the lineup looks like. We've actually got three good English players. We've got Callum Chambers, a young centre-half, Harry Winks, a young centre midfielder. We've got a couple in the reserves here as well, O'Keefe and Stockley. Jayden Stockley's not a player I like, he used to play for Luton, he was absolutely awful. But for the sake of this one I've got to make it work. So let's try and get people into their best positions. We're just going to go on rating. We'll try and get players into the position they actually play naturally as well. And hopefully from there we can start to progress. I have to be honest, this is the second time I'm doing this. The first time it crashed right at the end of making this team. So I'm a little bit annoyed this time. I might be a bit tetchy as we go on. But nevertheless, we'll try and make it as good as we can. We'll see if we can get the team together that will be a high quality one that can compete. We've got to play an Italian at left back as there's no other option. So I'm going to put the Italian on the left wing as well. We'll get that chemistry up. I was told it was different this year, but it looks exactly the same so far. And I'm going to put Skip in the midfield instead as well, just because he's the same club as Harry Winks, and it makes the chemistry far better. We're going to get Dander on the bench. He's done well at Swansea so far this season. There's a couple of other decent players on the bench, but so far there's not much to shout about. And unfortunately, the quality's a lot lower than the first one I drew, where we had some really good players in there. But unfortunately, we have to work with what we've got now. The second time's better than none. And in fact, I'm not going to have the Spurs kid in the middle. I'm going to have O'Keefe because he's significantly better. And we'll carry on from there to see if we can pull off some good signings now. We'll carry on from here. Hopefully we're going to be making some additions before we start anyway. We've got to advance. We've got to add a highly rated loan player to the squad. So let's get rid of one of our worst players. We'll get rid of Nakagawa. I tried to do it with one of the spaces last time, but you couldn't do it. You had to replace someone. We've got 5 players available. Last time I got offered Sergio Aguero, and this time the best player I've got from the Premier League is Son. So I'm going to have to go for him. It makes it almost an all-Tottenham midfield. We've got him for 7 games, which is a benefit for us. But we'll bring him in. It can't be any worse. So we'll carry on from there and hopefully we'll do well. We've got some shirts to choose from. I don't know which one we're going to go for out of the lot. I'm going to go for FC Porto because I quite like the look of that. So we'll pick Porto's home kit. Away from home, not sure out of the options that are there. I guess I have to go for England if I'm patriotic. So let's go for them. I did like the look of the FC Utrecht shirt though. We've got the England badge as another offer, but I can't reject Dortmund. So Dortmund it will be. And that's the 3 we'll line up with. We've created our club. We've got Son Heung-min in an England shirt. And this is going to get weird very early on. We've got some daily objectives. So let's have a look at these 4. Play a match of divisional rivals. Buy any player. There's a few others on there. So we'll get started with those in a minute. We just want to go and have a look around really. We can go to the store and see if we've got anything. Obviously we haven't got any coins just yet, but we could buy packs later on down the line. Still the same prices as before. I've got to say in terms of the menu stuff, I've played the start of the career mode to get to the start of the season for our first episode next week. And it's absolutely no different at all. And in fact it's actually littered with errors in the messages, which has been a bit disappointing. I got told I'd gone out of a cup at a group stage when we got through to the semi-final. And it just wasn't any different. Those transfer negotiations drag on for ages and ages. And it wasn't particularly enjoyable. And in this one, there's no real difference. It's quite a nice fluid layout as it was last year. But it hasn't really changed a great deal. So as a result, we haven't got much to work with. We're obviously over the next week or so, we're going to work hard on getting some coins in the bank. We're going to work on getting some players in. And hopefully we'll be able to compete with a bit more as we go into next season. We're going to have a look at our active squad just once more so we can have a look at where we need to work on in terms of dynamics, in terms of players. And I'm saying dynamics like a football manager man would. It's chemistry on this game. But we haven't got too much to work with to start with. We may have to change to the 3 in midfield just so we can fit Skip into the formation. Obviously we're struggling in the wide areas, not having as many players from the same sort of regions and nationalities, which doesn't seem to have changed from last year. So when we come back for our next episode, you may see a narrow diamond with the 4 British players in and Son covering up front. Because I'm not a big fan of the squad I've been given this time. The one I got the first time before it crashed was absolutely brilliant. But we'll do our best to fill our objectives and build a side that can compete. And hopefully when you come back next time, we'll be able to deal with the threats put in front of us and start to develop a really strong side. But I do like the bit working from the bottom. It's the bit you don't often get because it's so easy to build up straight away. It's quite nice. I've deliberately skipped so we don't have the ones where you get all the free players at the start. All of the things carried over from last year because it's just too easy otherwise. So we're going to start with this squad and we'll be back in the next episode where we'll hopefully have a better team. We'll have built up some coins and we'll play an online or an offline match just so we can see what our team's all about. But a massive thanks for watching this one. I'll put the squad up on the screen for the end so you can let me know in the comments what you think of the squad we've been handed. Do you think we'll be able to achieve anything in the early games? Subscribe to the channel below for regular Football Manager content, as my channel name gives away, every Monday to Thursday at 4:30 PM, as well as a new episode from FIFA 19 every Friday, rotating between Ultimate Team and Career Mode with Crew Alexandra. A big thanks again for watching, put a thumbs up on the video if you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.